Hey, how's everybody doing? Stockliff here, and welcome to a brand new association that I'll be doing. And this will be consistent, and I will be uploading this on a consistent basis. So, this is live, and if you don't want to stick around, just skip to the end, and I'll have like the decision-making process there about what I want to do with my team. But right here are just the rules. We're going to start this from the beginning of the season. 82 games, but I'll be playing like 2 or 3, maybe 4 games a month, depending on how I feel and what the teams are. So team chemistry is off because if you turn it on, sometimes, you know, team morale just doesn't add up, and it really hurts the team. Last year there was a glitch, and, you know, while simulating, it doesn't work as well. So I don't know. It's just something to look into. I turn it off. It's not really that big of a deal. Obviously, trade override off, trade deadline on, you know, the normal stuff. Injuries on, but I think I'm going to change it in-game to where it's like not injury severity down to like a 35 or 38 or something like that. So that's just basically it. And the quarterly, 12 minutes. And yeah, 12 minutes. And I don't know what kind of difficulty we're going to be playing on yet because I need to test out some sliders and stuff. But we are choosing the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to go ahead and turn prospect scouting on because I hate doing that, and it's really useless anyways because of the draft class that I use anyways. I know who I'm going to draft, so that's basically it. I might tinker with pre-draft workouts later. We'll see. But I'm not going to fool with this right now simply because I think I'm going to trade some of these players, and we'll go ahead and replace my old association as Atlanta for the online storage space. And we'll go ahead and name it MIL for Milwaukee, I guess. And I am aware that Milwaukee is currently, you know, a strong team and it could be a playoff team depending on how they finish the season. It's looking like it, but I really want to redirect them in a new course, if that makes sense. Like, really, this is the hardest place to be for a team, is the, you know, anywhere from the 7, 8, 9, 10 spot. Well, actually 7, 8, 9. I'll go 7, 8, 9 because, you know, you do well enough to make the playoffs, or you do well enough to possibly make the playoffs, but overall, you know, your draft pick's going to be mid of the pack too. You know, it's just a rough spot to be in. So I'm going to try to either make this first season a losing one or just try to combine everyone together and will them for a top 6 or top 5 finish in the East. So basically I have 2 draft classes that I want to use, 2013 and 14. The fictional draft is just something that I've made up. I'm not really going to use it for this, but yeah, I tweaked those drafts to my liking. It sort of works out well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar, who our first opponent will be. Actually, it is Boston. I don't know if I'll play that one, though. Depending on the circumstances, we'll see. We'll go ahead and go to the trade finder. This is what we all been waiting for. And first off, I kind of want to keep Larry Sanders because of his potential. He leads the league in blocks right now, and just a really good defensive player. So first off, let's just see what we can get for Monte Ellis, and I'll tell you some of the deals that I might want to make. And for reassurance, you tell me in the comments, or you may tell me another deal. Obviously, this one isn't going to work out. I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, unless Charlotte's going to be absolutely terrible, but if we give them Monte Ellis, they probably won't be terrible. This is probably the worst deal I've seen because this would only work out if we get Andrew Wiggins or Jabari Parker, really, you know, in that 2014 draft. So that's not going to work. None that I really want to go through with. I really want a star player. That probably wouldn't work because we have to give up 2 technically star players. I'm considering them 2 star players. But now this is a deal that I'm interested in because I kind of want to make Tyreke Evans a point guard because he was originally one from college. he's 6'6", and he's got a pretty big body on him, but he's pretty young, and I definitely want to get rid of Monte Ellis. I'm not so sure about Brandon Jennings right now because he's only 23, and he's already an 83 overall, and I think he can really become like a 90 overall or something. But looking into Tyreke Evans, I think he can give this team a certain pizzazz. He needs a new start, you know, get him out of Sacramento. So that's my first big offer to you guys there. Nothing really I want to look into. Joe Johnson's contract is way too much. Now this is another one, even though Iggy is another expiring contract like Tyreke Evans. Definitely a step up in the right direction, but I will let you review this. It's sort of a win now type trade. If I want to win right now, I'll get him, but you know, Tyreke Evans would be more of a deal for long term since he's so young and he has room for improvement and his potential is really good. So, you know, just take that into consideration. We're looking for long term here too. So David West and a first round pick. That could be really, really interesting. It would be a win now type trade, but that would definitely give us, you know, a good power forward. We only have Ersan Ilyasova, who is pretty young, I think. But that's something to look into as well. That's the third trade to take into consideration in my book. Rudy Gay, definitely a nice person to take a look at. Probably the highest overall player we'll get. I don't know if he necessarily deserves that overall rating. I'd probably give him an 84, 85 myself. But, you know, it's something to look into. We only have to give up Samuel Dalembert too with it. That's not going to happen. Ginobili's getting way too old for my liking. Gortat, in all the other associations that I do, he sort of drops off. And the fact that we have Larry Sanders too, and I'm not looking to trade him. So, you know, Kevin Martin could be a possibility. Nicholas Batum could be another one. I mean, there's just so many good trades I can pull off here, but it's really just what kind of team I want to build around. David Lee as well. I mean, all good. So now to move on to Brandon Jennings. If we do make the trade between Monte Ellis and Tyreke Evans, I'll definitely look into trading Brandon Jennings because of that point guard position. And right off the bat, this is pretty interesting, but I don't think I want to give up a future center in this league. So that's actually, that wouldn't work really, because this isn't really a good draft. Mike Conley, not really of the future, if you know what I mean. I'd rather have Brandon Jennings. Paul Millsap is decent, I guess. Now here's the Tyreke Evans trade that we could work out, actually. And then trade Monte for someone else, but just depending. I really do want Tyreke Evans, though. I will stress that. In some way, form, or fashion, I want this guy on my team. So that's that. I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but I definitely want him on this team. And a decently interesting one. I mean, we'd just be getting Darren Williams. There's this, but we'd have to give up a first-round pick, and I don't want to do that. Now, this is the one I'm really interested in because think about Tyreke Evans paired with Paul George. And that's just something weird to think about because you have a 6'6" point guard and a 6'10" shooting guard on one team, and that, I don't know. Like, I don't know how this is going to work out yet. I don't know what kind of team I want to build around. I don't know if I want to make this a half-court team or an up-tempo team, which it is right now. So it's just hard to tell. And we'd also have to give up J.J. Redick. I mean, there's just a lot of deals that we can pull off. And, you know, it's just absolutely crazy. Like, I've never went into an association with this many possibilities, you know. So, but there's Rubio, who's only a 78 right now. He probably should be higher. Rubio's another possibility. Now, this one I'm looking into. I don't know why I said toward. But we'd have to give up that first round pick. Possibly we could work this around. I don't know. Steph Curry, another interesting trade that we could pull off. He has an A+ potential rating, by the way. But then again, we have to give up our first round pick in 2014. Not necessarily what we want to do, but I think we can work around that. So those are the trades that we can pull off with those two. I guess we can try Ilyasova and Dallenberg and see what we can get. Either a small forward or power forward is really what we need. Now there's Thaddeus Young and Spencer Hawes, which could be interesting. I'm sorry if this video is taking so long, but I really want to show you the different possibilities that could come out of these different trades and what kind of... I mean, this is crucial to the future of this franchise and what we do. So that could honestly be interesting. Verjao. But I don't know. I mean, all these are just really tough at this point. Austin Rivers for the Bucks, that'd be pretty cool. And Robin Lopez. Honestly, that's not a bad trade, but we lose our starting power forward. Oh my. That's interesting right there. That is interesting. Wow. All things considered, and what we've seen, can you imagine having a big three of like Tyreek Evans, Paul George, and Paul Millsap? I don't know. I kind of want to make realistic trades too that probably would happen. So keep that in mind as well. And I don't think we're going to... David Lee. But look at who we'd have to give up. Okay, but that's enough for right now. Tell me what you think about all the trades that you saw in this video. And I'll be sure to review it and think it over, process in my mind everything, and just try my best to build this franchise, not necessarily from the ground up, but from where it is now to a championship contending team or a future championship contending team. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and as always, have a nice day.